Om Tat Sat. My humble prostrations to the all-pervading Brahman, to my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayananda Ji Maharaj, to sage Narada and all the sages and saints, and to each of you, divine soul, watching today's satsang. So today we will be studying Sutra number 19 from the Narada Bhakti Sutras, Chapter 1, Nature of Parabhakti or Supreme Devotion. Commentaries by my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayananda Ji, and narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. So let's get started. Sutra number 19, chapter number 1. The sutra is Naradastu tadarpita akhilacharata tadvismarane param avyakulateti. Again, Naradastu tadarpita akhilacharata tadvismarane param vyakulateti. Meaning, sage Narada, however, holds the view that devotion is characterized by complete dedication of all activities and observances to God and by the experience of extreme agony in forgetting him. So each of these enlightened sages are bringing a different perspective. So now sage Narada is bringing viraha. Viraha is a technical term in Sanskrit which means pain, and we will explain that. Sage Narada is of the opinion that expressions of joy in a devotee may be misleading. The surest indication of genuine devotion to the Lord is therefore the extreme agony experienced by a devotee when he forgets the divine self. It seems paradoxical that devotion expresses itself in pain and sorrow as well as joy. So, on one hand, there is ecstasy of joy, and then the other one, intense pangs of pain. But with reflection, it can be easily understood. So, Swamiji is using this wonderful example that when you get anesthesia, you go numb, and therefore a surgery is done on you. And at that point, when you are numb, you don't feel anything, but as you come home, slowly, it takes time, but slowly the feeling of the numbness goes away and the feeling of the sensation comes back. And that's a good feeling, especially when you come back from a dentist, you're all swollen. And then when we can feel the pain, that's a recognition of a pleasant feeling that yes, now that pain is coming, which means you can feel, you can taste and touch, etc. And so that is the paradox there, that even though we were in pain and we are in pain, but that acceptance, acknowledgement of that pain is healthy because we are getting better. In the same manner, most people have lost mystic sensitivity. Their hearts are, in a sense, paralyzed. Think about this for a minute. We live in such a mechanical world, and we are doing things on autopilot. We wake up, we brush our teeth, we shower, we go to work, we come home, we eat, then we sleep again, and the cycle continues on and on. And whereas, so we kind of get desensitized in a way. Whereas if we start enjoying this bhakti movement, then you are as if getting your sensation back. You're no longer desensitized. But with advancing devotional movement and rediscovering of this mystic sensitivity, there develops intense aspiration to become one with God. You start asking yourself, God, I feel I want you only. The world is not satisfying me. I'm not getting what I want from here. This is like Maya or illusion. When that starts happening, this longing starts to take hold, like Meera, like Shabri, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, etc. These were the Parabhaktas, sage Narada himself. So the joy, then what happens is there becomes this joy of expectation that one day I will experience God, I will merge into him, I will have that sensation. And the other one is the pain of separation, viraha, that, oh God, you are not with me, nothing else feels good. I don't really fit into anything. I'm feeling separation from everything else. That is the sense of viraha. The state of viraha, so therefore, in spirituality, is a very lofty, very high state on the path of devotion. It is experienced by rare and fortunate souls who have attained purity of heart and have become spiritually intoxicated by glimpsing the divine beloved. So God with his extreme mercy shows his form and then he vanishes, and now they are experiencing that pain to see him again. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a 15th century saint who was the very personification of Parabhakti, he says, afflicted am I with the pangs of separation from the beloved Krishna. Every moment appears like an age. My eyes rain tears. The whole world has become desolate for me. So he's feeling this vira. This profound sentiment is further expressed again by sage Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in another statement where he says, he alone is the beloved of my heart and soul. Whether he embraces me with fondness or tramples upon me with his feet, whether he keeps me consumed in the fires of separation or in whatever condition he chooses to place me, for he is my only beloved, there can be none else. So he feels like God is his savior, God is his everything, and he is part of God. Another great devotee, Sri Surdas Ji, sings of the glorious experiences of Viraha. He says, the creeper of Viraha grows, nourished by the tears of my love. Its roots have entered the very depths of my heart. Its branches have entwined and enveloped my being with its rich foliage. O friend, how am I to free myself from this all consuming creeper of divine viraha? So he is in that sense of deep viraha. It's the precursor of the overwhelming sweetness of divine union. So that's what is, it's a sure tell sign that you are progressing on the parabhakti path. The fire of viraha burns all impurities of the mind and melts one's heart. Worldly sentiments then dissolve in the sacred Ganges of divine love that flows on to the ocean of God. During Viraha, a devotee yearns to see the divinity within as well as outside of himself. Just as a fish removed from water yearns to return and enjoy the water within and without, it will die, but it will only want its water. So the spirit in a devotee is similar. It wants to commune with the divine self and be immersed in the sacred river of love. The greater the hunger, the greater the delight when you are feasting on delicious food, isn't it? So, similarly, the greater the fire of viraha, the greater the delight in communing with the divine self. When viraha develops in a devotee, he experiences alternating states of union or glimpses of God and then separation, loss of the glimpses, just like lightning flash that comes and then there is darkness again. So he enjoys the lightning and then he yearns for that lightning again to see that image, that blessing of God. And that is what is called viraha. So, in the way a devotee experiences glimpses of Supreme Beloved, which are followed by darkness, a stage of yearning. So, that stage of yearning that keeps him intensely occupied is called Viraha. This was also the state that the gopis had for Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam. They would be totally consumed and thinking of him all the time. Viraha is also used in common parlance to apply pain experienced by a lover when separated from his beloved. Yet, We have to understand it properly. It would be a great folly to define viraha in terms of worldly pain. Worldly pain is to be eradicated. We should avoid worldly pain. But divine viraha is to be adored, yearned, and aspired for, and experienced even. Miserable is the person inflicted with worldly pain, because that is not desirable. But most blessed is the devotee who suffers pain or separation from the divine beloved. Radha Krishna, Gopis, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Meera, Shabri, all of them experienced viraha, and then they got the darshan or the blessings of the physical union with God. And this was the mystical sutra number 19 that we have just completed, and we will do sutra number 20 tomorrow. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Om Tat Sat.